A disciple reported to Master Gu that Yin-mei from the nine-tailed Heavenly Fox clan arrived, and he sounded amused as he instructed the disciple to invite her in quickly. Yueminkong stared at Master Gu intently and observed him while the two of them fell silent. Master Gu felt awkward, so he broke the silence first by telling Yueminkong that he would head over to welcome Yin-mei. But Yueminkong said nothing, she just continued scrutinizing him, and as Master Gu walked away, he thought that based on the system's nature and habits, it would only alert him to the fortunes chosen if they were within his close proximity, so it seemed that his fodder had something to do with Yin-mei. Master Gu immediately welcomed Yin-mei as his junior sister, telling her that she truly moved him with just how far she had traveled to come to his family's feast. And Yin-mei told him that it was rare that Master Gu cared for her like that, so she was touched too. As Yin-mei greeted Master Gu as her senior brother, Master Gu wondered if the fortunes chosen was the man beside her. And he thought that he did look ordinary enough, but he just didn't know the identity and status of the person who were in the process of exchanging their souls. Yin-mei noticed something, so she asked Master Gu what was wrong, and Master Gu told her that it was nothing. It was just that he had never thought that she would bring a human with no cultivation base along with her, so he asked her if he seemed a little special to her. Ying-xiang, who was still in Chu Fan's body, looked terrified as he wondered how Master Gu noticed an insignificant person like him, and he thought that Master Gu's name was known far and wide, so he was definitely more difficult to deal with than he looked, which was why it was not good for him to be under his scrutiny. On the other hand, Yin-mei told Master Gu that he was thinking a little too deeply into the matter because Chu Fan was the one who requested to join the entourage so that he could help, and she thought that it would be good to take him around so that he could explore the world around him. Master Gu was amused, and he said that Chu Fan seemed like someone who was very attentive and observant, so he was not bad. Meanwhile, Ying-xiang, who was in Chu Fan's body, nervously took a step back. He looked extremely anxious as he wondered why it felt like he had been completely seen through by Master Gu. Suddenly, Kaior reprimanded Chu Fan, asking him if he wanted to die for not thanking Master Gu when he praised him, while the other guests said that his luck was pretty good as they could not believe that he was being praised by Master Gu. But they laughed, saying that he looked a little stupid though. Ying-xiang immediately bowed down to Master Gu, and while stuttering, he addressed himself as a servant as he thanked Master Gu for his praise and asked for his forgiveness for his lack of manners. Ying-xiang was sweating profusely as he thought that with a single glance, Master Gu was just as terrifying as he had heard. He admitted that he was originally thinking of using the opportunity to sneak in and find some familiar faces that could verify his identity. But in the end, Master Gu's observational skills were sharp. It was definitely more incredible than that of a regular young genius there, and he cursed as he wished that Ying Yu was there because she would definitely be able to recognize him. Master Gu told Ying-xiang that he might rise because he was afraid that people would start saying that he was a tyrant for making him kneel there for so long, and he thought that Ying-xiang was able to bide his time well and knew when to yield to others. He realized that Ying-xiang was definitely stronger in terms of character compared to Yiling and the others, and according to the system's hint, a human exchanged souls with an expert, which meant that they managed to undergo a perfect soul exchange, and the human is currently using the expert's identity and status to continue misusing and showing off his power. As Ying-xiang thanked Master Gu thought that it was clear that Chu Fan's soul had already been exchanged with Ying-xiang's soul, and was currently residing in Ying-xiang's original body. Master Gu told Yin-mei that she traveled a long way there, so she must be tired, which was why he suggested that she take a short rest, and Yin-mei told him that she would abide by everything he said, so Master Gu asked her to come with him. Suddenly, Yueminkong grabbed Master Gu's arm. Yueminkong cunningly asked Master Gu how he could just leave like that when he still needed to welcome the other guests there, and that left Yin-mei speechless. Master Gu telepathically instructed Yin-mei to take note of her servant, and if there was anything unique about him, she should notify him immediately, and Yin-mei agreed. Master Gu immediately turned to Gu Zioner, asking her to take Yin-mei down to rest. And as Gu Zioner was about to protest, Master Gu told her to stop complaining or else he would make her pay for what she owes him. Meanwhile, Wang Wushwang asked Wang Zijin if there was something wrong with the servant, and Wang Zijin told him that she had no idea, but the servant's name was pretty much a main character's name, which confused Wang Wushwang. Wang Zijin smirked as she thought that Yin-mei seemed to have some feelings for Master Gu. A few hours later, evening came, and the beautiful moon was shining over a building. Inside the building were puppets that had a dark aura wafting around them, and Master Gu was instructing them that they needed to set things up properly as it was time to use those advanced sacred realm puppets that they had obtained from the Heavenly Emperor of Reincarnation's mansion. He said that they were truly puppets that were created by the Heavenly Emperor of Reincarnation, as they looked completely alive. Master Gu smirked as he thought that he would use the deity's devouring art to contaminate their cores. He let out a tremendous amount of aura that made its way through each of the puppets. The amount of aura he let out was so great that a bright purple light was emitted outside the building. A few moments later, the puppets were filled with Master Gu's demonic aura, and he thought that they had become those inheritor of demonic arts that everyone else had been talking about. And as soon as those advanced sacred realm inheritors of demonic arts appeared, it was pretty reasonable for them to get into a fight against the hidden ancestral humanity's successor, Wang Zijin. Master Gu thought that he believed that Wang Zijin would be able to hold on till he came to rescue her, and he had completed his preparations for everything. He just lacked something to instigate it. On the other hand, Yinmei was meditating in her room. Suddenly, she opened her eyes and glared as she asked who was there. Yinmei was surprised when she saw Master Gu emerge from the warp in space in front of her, and he told her that it seemed that she had been working hard at cultivating. Yinmei asked Master Gu if he came there because of Chu Fan, and upon hearing his name, Master Gu confirmed with Yinmei if it was the servant's name and asked her to tell him about Chu Fan. Yinmei said that she picked Chu Fan up from the streets when she was young because, back then, she saw that he was almost starving to death on the street, so she felt some pity for him. She ended up rescuing him, and while Master Gu thought that the fortunes chosen was really related to Yinmei because she was his savior, Yinmei asked him if there was something wrong with Chu Fan. Master Gu told Yinmei that he was afraid that the current Chu Fan was no longer the original Chu Fan, so if she really wanted to know the truth, he suggested that they ask Chu Fan to come and ask him about it. A few moments later, Yinmei brought Chu Fan to Master Gu, and she called him master as she informed him of Chu Fan's arrival. Yingxiang was so surprised that he wondered if he was hearing things wrong because Yinmei just called Master Gu her master when she had never called him that before. While he was thinking, he stuttered as he asked Master Gu as to why he called for him. Master Gu told Yingxiang that he wondered how he should address him and called him brother. Yingxiang was horrified, as he thought that he was right that there was nothing that he could possibly hide from Master Gu because he was too terrifying. Not just his strength, status, and position, but even his spoken words hold incredible strength that even the current primordial ancient clans would have to be wary of his strength. He wondered if Master Gu could help him. He started to laugh and told Master Gu that he truly had such insight. He said that he could not believe that Master Gu had seen through him, admitting that Master Gu was right, that he was not Chu Fan. Yinmei thought that Master Gu was right, as Chu Fan completely changed. Yingxiang introduced himself to Master Gu as the Heavenly Emperor Ying's biological son, saying that ever since ancient times, he was sealed in the current time period and remained cultivating in the king's palace, never once leaving that place. So, he has no idea why his soul was suddenly exchanged with the one that previously had the shitty body that he was in. He told Master Gu that he truly admires him. Yingxiang told Master Gu that if he were willing to help him, he would be willing to serve Master Gu completely till the end of his days. Yinmei was surprised when she heard that Yingxiang was a heavenly prince, while Master Gu was unfazed and just smiled. Meanwhile, Yingxiang smiled as he thanked his god that he reacted well because, even if Master Gu were not as good as the rumors say, he was sure that even if Master Gu refused to help him, he wouldn't kill him either. But then, to Yingxiang's surprise, Master Gu said that, based on what he just told him, apart from his memories, he was of no use to him. Master Gu told Yingxiang that his value as a heavenly prince to him was instead currently with the other body, and as Yingxiang felt Master Gu's aura, he hesitated to ask Master Gu about something. Yingxiang was not able to finish his question because as soon as Master Gu's aura intensified, he started to run away while asking Master Gu not to kill him, and he said that he could swear that he saw nothing there, listened to him completely, and he would serve him for the rest of his life so he could still be useful to him. Master Gu said that it was true that his memories were pretty useful, but with a demonic look, Master Gu told Yingxiang, who was at the palm of his hand, that he didn't need him to be alive for that. Looking at Yingxiang's soul in front of him, Master Gu said he truly was the son of the Heavenly Emperor Ying, and he could not believe that he made his father etch his inheritance into his life source. He said if the fortunes chosen had not exchanged souls with Yingxiang, it would have been difficult for him to obtain his soul. He flicked the soul and distributed its essence to his puppets. Master Gu smirked as he said adding the aura of the Heavenly Emperor Mountain made the puppets even better. He said the inheritor of demonic arts from the Heavenly Emperor Mountain was a perfect identity for them to use. Master Gu ordered the puppets to come and smile for him, and they immediately complied. Master Gu said thankfully they did not make their targets wait too long, and he gave his puppets some sealing charms as he instructed them to go and make sure that they injured their targets heavily, which the puppets confirmed. Master Gu gazed on the horizon as he told Wang Zijin not to disappoint him. Meanwhile, an aura was radiating out of a building. A lady was emitting the aura, and it started to dissipate as she landed on the floor. It was Wang Zijin, and she said she had the divine spirit body, and on top of that, the primordial immaculate body, and everything she cultivated progressed quickly, so there was hardly any need for her to do anything. But she could not understand why Master Gu felt so out of reach for even someone like her. She said she must still be lacking in cultivation, and it seemed that there were still some people in that world that she could not afford to make a move against yet. But she said that it was what made things interesting because she rarely had someone that piqued her interest, so she would definitely make Master Gu hers in the end, and she declared that he wouldn't be able to escape her. Suddenly, Wang Zijin was surprised when a demonic aura wafted in front of her. One of Master Gu's puppets, the muscular man, was right behind Wang Zijin, and she froze as she felt his presence. Wang Zijin was not able to dodge the man's attack, and she came crashing into the wall. She still managed to stand up, and she immediately noticed that the man was at the advanced sacred realm. Wang Zijin asked him who he was and reprimanded him for daring to attack someone in the Chengshenggu's house. But instead of answering her question and introducing himself, the man just told Wang Zijin that his master had instructed him to come and kill her. When she heard the man mention his master, Wang Zijin wondered what kind of status and identity the man's master must have to be able to instruct an advanced sacred realm cultivator to carry out his work. The man moved quickly, and he suddenly appeared in front of Wang Zijin to deliver another attack, which surprised Wang Zijin. She could not evade the man's attack again, and as she was sent flying, the man suddenly grabbed her feet. The man pulled Wang Zijin back while asking her if it felt like her reaction had slowed down, and he explained to her that it was because they had set up a formation array around the entire mansion. Wang Zijin coughed as the man kneed her in the gut. She was sent flying and crashed on the wall again. Wang Zijin passed through the wall, creating a hole in it, and she was slammed into the floor. Heavily injured, Wang Zijin spat blood while lying on the floor, and she cursed in her mind, thinking that the enemies had really prepared themselves well before coming. A quasi-sacred realm cultivator like her could not possibly defeat the man. She could only delay things until the Gu family detected something amiss and came to rescue her instead. The man suddenly emerged from the hole in the wall, with gleaming eyes and a smile on his face. He was about to stomp on Wang Zijin, telling her that anyone who stood in the way of their master would all have to die. Wang Zijin managed to evade the man's attack by spinning her body up in the air. As the man destroyed the floor, he told Wang Zijin that she was going to die first, and Master Gu would be next. Suddenly, Wang Zijin brought out an item, the 5 colored bone beads. The man charged forward, saying that just as their master predicted, Wang Zijin did have a treasure with her, but she still wouldn't be able to escape that easily. Upon hearing what he said, Wang Zijin asked the man who his master was, if he even knew who she was, and if he could even bear the consequences of attacking her. But the man just told Wang Zijin that she was saying nonsense, as she didn't have the right to know who their master was, so she should just die. Suddenly, Wang Zijin felt the demonic energy from the man, and she immediately thought about the inheritor of demonic arts, surprised that there was more than one. Multiple destructions were also happening in the other buildings. As the man continued to charge forward, Wang Zijin raised the 5 colored bone beads in front of her. The man told her that with just the defensive strength of those beads, there was no way that she would be able to survive. Wang Zijin used her move, the 5 colored galaxy map, while cursing in her mind. She wondered why the villain character was not talking a little more because, at least if he did, she would be able to delay for some more time. Wang Zijin spread her arms as she used her move, but the man did not budge. The man was amused, and he said that it was interesting. So, he told Wang Zijin that they should see how long she would last. The man started to bombard Wang Zijin's barrier with his punches. He goaded her, saying that it looked like her barrier could not sustain its defenses any longer. The beads on Wang Zijin's item started to crack. Wang Zijin was anxious as she wondered how the inheritor of demonic arts started keeping an eye on her. She did not think she had ever exposed her true identity to anyone. Suddenly, Wang Zijin realized something as she felt the man's aura. But before she could finish her thought, the man filled his fist with the demonic aura. He said that he hadn't played enough yet. He delivered the final blow that destroyed Wang Zijin's barrier, and she groaned in pain as the man's attack created a shockwave of aura. Although she was pushed back, Wang Zijin was able to maintain her balance as she skidded on the floor. She cursed in her mind as she thought that she did not want to die there because she just started living a new life, and as she pulled out a talisman, she thought that she could only rely on that at the moment. But as she activated the talisman, the man kicked her hand and pressed it against the wall, causing the talisman to dissipate. Wang Zijin screamed in pain. The man knew that Wang Zijin was trying to run. He told her that their master thought that she would have multiple items to help her escape, but he said that she should save them instead, and he suggested that since he looked pretty, he guessed he would cripple her first before having his way with her. The man laughed as he said that he has yet to have a taste of her body, the saintess of the ancestral humanity palace. Despair filled Wang Zijin's eyes as she thought that she was a reincarnator, so she was supposed to be the main character, so she wondered why something like that was happening to her. On the other hand, Master Gu smiled evilly and thought that it was time. Master Gu's voice echoed all over the palace as he asked who dared to do something like that to his Gu family. His voice reached the other floating islands as he told the enemies to die. Tears started to well up in Wang Zijin's eyes as she heard Master Gu's voice. The guests staying at the Gu family's residence immediately came out of their buildings, asking what happened. Kai Ling said there was a sudden disturbance with a primordial spirit, which she speculated was Master Gu, and Yi Langshan added that it seemed to have directed itself towards the Wang family's residence, so they should quickly go and take a look. The cultivators immediately flew towards the Wang family's residence. Meanwhile, Yu Mingkong was watching them, and she said that Master Gu finally chose to make his plans around Wang Zijin. On the other hand, Wang Zijin was laughing even though the man was still pinning her to the wall. She told the man that she was so sorry, but it seemed like he was not going to get his way there. Hearing her taunting words, the man told Wang Zijin that it was still not too late for him to kill her. But suddenly, Master Gu came out of the warp in space, and with a shining aura at his fingertips, he ordered the man to stop. Master Gu attacked the man and sent him flying out of the building. Wang Zijin was in a daze, and she was about to call Master Gu's name. But Master Gu cut her off by apologizing to her, saying that he could not believe that something like that happened to her under his jurisdiction. The man still managed to stand up. He told Master Gu that he had ruined his master's plans multiple times, but one day he would take his head as a trophy. And upon hearing his words, Master Gu asked the man who his master was. But before the man could answer, an elder was attacking the man from above, and he was reprimanding him for daring to attack his Wang family's young lady. There was a huge explosion on the ground, creating a shockwave and causing dust and debris to fly all over the place. As the dust started to settle, a purple light was flying away at high speed while a golden light was pursuing it, calling him a bastard and telling him not to dare leave. It was the man, and as he was being pursued by the elder of the Wang family, he asked the elder if he thought that he was enough to hold him there. But the elder simply asked him if he thought that he could come and go as he pleased and that the Gu family's mansion was like his own house's back garden. Meanwhile, Master Gu was annoyed at the elder, and he thought that the elder's temper was so quick to anger that he did not even wait for him to finish the scene he had planned. As Elder Wang and the man clashed with each other, other cultivators who had just arrived flew up in the air, offering that they would help him too, while the others were surprised that an advanced sacred realm cultivator wanted to kill someone from the Wang family, and they wondered who Wang Zijin was because they could not believe that she was so important that they would send an assassin of the advanced sacred cultivator to the Gu family. Suddenly, Wang Wushwang arrived, and he was filled with concern as he saw his sister, so he immediately asked Master Gu what happened. Wang Wushwang asked Master Gu who was the person who tried to kill Wang Zijin. He told Master Gu that he would have to answer to their family for allowing such a thing to happen. But Wang Zijin told him not to blame Master Gu, and as she was about to explain what could have happened if Master Gu had not arrived on time, Master Gu cut her off by sighing and admitting that it was his fault, but he doesn't exactly know what happened because he has only just arrived at the scene. Master Gu assured everyone not to worry because no one would be able to save the assassin that day, as he would make him pay for what he did. There were tons of huge explosions in the sky, and the cultivators pointed out that the assassin was currently battling many advanced sacred realm cultivators, but he was not showing an ounce of fatigue, which makes his strength terrifying, so they wondered who the assassin could be. Meanwhile, Master Gu was observing Wang Zijin, and he thought that she was truly a peak fortune's chosen daughter because, with just a moment's rest, she recovered almost completely. Master Gu asked Wang Zijin how her injuries were and if she was alright, but as she was about to answer, her eyes widened in surprise when she noticed something. Wang Zijin realized that Master Gu may look concerned about her, but there was not a single ounce of warmth in his eyes, so he was probably showing concern for her to save face for his family. And that was when she realized that she would have to take a bit more initiative when it comes to someone like Master Gu, or else nothing else would happen. Wang Zijin suddenly expressed her pain and acted weak. Master Gu was taken by surprise when Wang Zijin suddenly leaned on him, saying that she thinks that she may have injured her origin source as her head was quite dizzy. And she added that it was so dangerous earlier that she was afraid that she would have been killed if Master Gu did not get there in time. Master Gu was annoyed, and in the back of his mind, he was telling Wang Zijin that she was thinking a little too deeply into the matter, because even if he told the puppets to kill her, that amazing fortune of hers wouldn't agree, while in reality, he apologized to Wang Zijin, saying that it was the Gu family's fault that she suffered that, so they would repay her in the future for that. Wang Wushwang's mouth was wide open as he saw Wang Zijin trying to embrace Master Gu, as she told him that he should not blame himself, because even if she was not at the Gu family's residence, the assassins would still try and kill her, while Master Gu was trying to push her away, asking what she meant. Wang Zijin asked Master Gu if he did not want to find out the identity of the assassin who tried to kill her, which made Master Gu ask her for confirmation if the man was an inheritor of demonic arts. Wang Zijin was amused as she said that it seemed that Master Gu had already guessed who she was, and she confirmed that he was right, that the man was an inheritor of demonic arts, and he was targeting her, the saintess of the ancestral humanities palace. The other cultivators heard Wang Zijin, and they said that they never knew that the Wang family had an ancestral humanity saintess in their family, while another cultivator pointed out that the attacker was an inheritor of demonic arts, but he was not Yiling. Master Gu said that the inheritors of the demonic arts have actually gotten so bold to do something like that, not to mention that they are currently in the advanced sacred realm too, so it seemed that he was not wrong to think that there was an organization or someone backing them. Wang Zijin said that she had reason to be suspicious of the Yiling that fought with Master Gu before, that he was not the real inheritor of demonic arts, and she said maybe Yiling was made into a pawn instead. Master Gu acted surprised when he heard Wang Zijin say that Yiling was a pawn, and he told her that after that battle, Yiling never reappeared again, so it has been difficult to determine if he was really dead or not. But Wang Zijin said that it was no longer important to find out whether Yiling was dead or not, because what was important at the moment was that they needed to find out the identity of the inheritor of demonic arts, as well as the organization that was supporting them. As the battle between the assassin and the other cultivators grew intense, Wang Wushwang said that they should capture the assassin alive since he was of the advanced sacred realm, and they should be able to get some information out of him. But as the assassin got pushed back, Master Gu said that it was not that easy to catch an advanced sacred realm cultivator. Elder Wang told the assassin that he wouldn't be able to escape, and another cultivator suggested that he surrender because to be captured by 3 advanced sacred realm cultivators would be an honor to him. Then the assassin just laughed at them, and while calling them lowly ants, he told them that they wouldn't be able to stay arrogant for long. As his chest started to crack, he told them that they would all become his master's servants in the future. Aura started to radiate from the assassin's body, and he said that where chaos exists, so shall his master.